Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Today, we start with the story of Karen, who couldn't get over the fact that she wasn't winning at the casino. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Petty Revenge on Casino Karen. This is the story of a Casino Karen. Before we begin, a few things to know. The house always wins. Duh. Casino Karens are slightly different than regular Karens. One, they must win immediately upon sitting down at a slot machine and get very angry when they do not. And two, if you're winning and they are not, Casino Karens are even more unhappy. So, last night, late in the evening at a nearby casino, I was meandering my way back to my hotel room after breaking even for the night. Yay! I stopped at a penny slot machine I like and decided to throw a few bucks in and play the minimum of 25 cents per spin just for craps and giggles. Shortly after sitting down, Casino Karen plops down at a slot machine 2 over from me, which I know is generally not a great machine, never see anyone really win on it, and it's not played much as a result, and immediately lights up a cigarette while her boyfriend stands there to watch her. After a few spins at $1.25 a spin, she immediately starts complaining, and boyfriend joins her saying, "These machines are rigged. This is awful. I see why casino regulars play the minimum." Now, normally I'm happy to see others winning because it makes the vibe more fun, but Karens? Nah, I hope they lose. So it just so happens, about the time Karen starts complaining, I get in a bonus. This really pisses off Karen and her boyfriend, and I hear them make a snide comment about how of course I'm in the bonus and only playing 25 cents. B, you know I can hear you, right? Karen then gets in the bonus on her machine too and gets 40 free spins and only wins about $11, which is about what I got on my bonus playing 25 cents to her $1.25. You would have thought the world had stopped. The complaining ramped up to about 10 more notches and they kept complaining about 40 free spins and barely $10? So, karmic fates shined down and my machine decided to bonus several more times in very quick succession. Cue even more complaints. I try to be nice and tell them that I played it earlier at $1.25 a spin and couldn't get a bonus to save my life, and isn't that how it goes? I get in the bonus at minimum bet. Silence from Karen and BF. Okay, that's how it's gonna go. Was already irritated at the snide remark. Casino Karen proceeds to continue her non-stop complaining. Normal people just get up off a bad machine, and I could tell she was eyeing my machine and would jump at the chance to get on it if I left. Been gambling a long time. I know when someone wants my machine. Despite being tired, part 1 of Petty Revenge is I decide to keep playing just to annoy her and manage to hit a $50 bonus, which you can imagine irritated her as it would have been $250 if I was playing $1.25 like her. About 3 Karen cigarettes later, she finally leaves, but only goes about 7 to 8 machines down. I can tell boyfriend keeps looking my way to see if I've left. Part 2 of Petty Revenge is I pull out a ticket I haven't cashed in yet from another machine that has about $250 in slot credits on it, and I insert it into my machine. This way it looks like I won a really big bonus if they walk by to see how I'm doing and how many credits are on my machine. Of course, about 10 to 15 minutes later, they stroll by, and I can tell they are super annoyed to see I have over $350 in credits on the machine. Haha. Once it was clear that they were gone for good, I cashed out and went to bed. Moral of the story, if you get that upset at what is supposed to be a fun activity, you either have a gambling problem or are a casino Karen, or Kevin. And I'll happily do what I can to get under your skin and make you even more annoyed. And our second story. Jerk coworker is rude to an old lady because he wants to leave early. When I was 16, I worked at a bakery/cafe, specifically in the bakery section. I sold pastries and made the drinks, and other people manned the actual sandwich/soup/salad area. We all worked very well together, had good managers, and had our lunch rush or closing cleanup routine down. Then there was him. I'll call him AA because he had a name that started with A and was also an a-hole. And he probably could have used AA. At his interview, he put on a very professional front and seemed to me at first to be a pretty nice guy. I noticed his a-holeness slower than others because I worked in the bakery and he was online, but here are a list of his crimes. Not wearing gloves, not changing gloves when he should have, smoking in the cafe, snapping at customers, even the nice ones, lying to customers, hitting on these 16 and 17-year-old employees, he was about 23, which included me, and generally saying D-word things. It's been too long for me to give any actual quotes except for this gem. You know that soda'll kill you, AA tells me as he takes a drag from his cigarette. And somehow the managers never saw any of his bad behavior. Now, after he worked there about 3 weeks, he was on a closing shift with me. It's looking to be pretty standard. I close down the bakery in my lonely, isolated bakery bubble while 2 people close down the food line and 1 person cleans the dining room. About 5 minutes before closing, a nice elderly lady comes in wanting to order a salad. She wants it for here. That's not a problem. The only thing we can't do while she's in the cafe is mop or vacuum the dining room, which we don't do until the last 20 minutes of closing anyway, and she's alone ordering half a salad and sure to eat quick. Just as I'm about to finish her order, AA pops up behind my shoulder. AA, oh ma'am, you can't order in, we're closed. Me, we're not closed yet, it's fine. AA, we can't start cleaning until she leaves. Me, holding back an eye roll. Yes we can, we just can't vacuum. AA proceeds to pressure this little old lady into taking her order to go when she would clearly like her salad now. I awkwardly apologize as we finish the order, and I give her a free pastry since we're closing anyway. They get donated, not thrown away, by the way. When the nice old lady leaves, I fix AA with a death stare. He shrugs and asks, "What? Don't you want to go home early?" I was seriously mad. I remembered his hitting on me, his lying to a customer, which is a story for another day, and his general D-wordishness. I say simply, "You're an a-hole," and turn to my closing duties. AA does the general douchey ooh, but doesn't press further. The hour passes, the cafe is clean. I look over at the other line worker doing her last cleaning of the appliances. I look at the wet spots from the mop on the floor drying. I wish that somehow I could make AA stay longer. Then it hits me. The new manager is on tonight. Oh, that new manager. That new manager that does everything by the book and doesn't care about staying late. That new manager who does the closing thing that no other manager does. Make us scrub the floor before we mop it. It takes 15 minutes, not counting the sweeping and mopping. I look at the other line worker whose duties don't include the floor. She can go home. The dining room worker is done. I'm done. The manager has been in the office counting the day's profits. He doesn't know if we mopped. I grab a slice of bread from the donation bag and step over to the now dry floor of the line. I crumple the bread and let it fall. I step on it a few times and make it look like it's been there a while. I grab a slice of lettuce. I grab a bit of onion. I grab a crouton and crush it, all the while keeping the counters and appliances absolutely pristine. I step back to my bakery and start putting out the clean trays and labels for the morning shifters. Then I hear the manager's voice. Other line worker, you're good. Dining room worker, you're good. AA, did you do the floors? AA, yeah, of course. Manager, why don't you take a closer look? I can't look. I'll give myself away. I hear AA spluttering. Manager, clean the floors, then you can go. AA is spluttering. Can I just sweep? Manager, seriously? No, sweep, scrub, mop, then you can go home. My heart is pounding as I hear the manager approach me. I've just finished putting the labels in the correct places. OP looks good, you can go home. I couldn't believe I'd gotten away with it. I smiled at the manager, clocked out, and asked about last night's episode of a show. We chatted for a few minutes, and I watched out of the corner of my eye as AA scrubbed the floors, looking utterly defeated. I left before he was finished. And our last story. Thieving company screwed me out of $4,000. I got it back and cost them another $700,000. A few months ago, a company, Low Dogs LLC, was required to sell some pretty rare stuff. Low Dogs was very cozy with another company, Morality Ltd., that wanted the stuff, but the industry we're in is highly regulated, so Low Dogs couldn't just sell straight to Morality. So to be seen to comply with the regulations, Low Dogs offered to sell the stuff to some other people, me being one. They said that if we wanted the stuff, it was ours, and if we didn't, well then, they would sell it to Morality Ltd. In that way, they would comply with the regulations prohibiting direct sale to their buddies at Morality Ltd. So I get Low Dog's offer, and you know what? It's actually very well priced. I say thanks, here's my check, and await my stuff. Tick-tock, tick-tock, no stuff. Call Low Dogs up and say, yo, where's that stuff I bought? And they say, oh, we sold it all to Morality for the same price we offered it to you. Here's your check back. And I say, nuh-uh, and I sue them for a few grand. That being the profit I didn't make by reselling the stuff they didn't deliver. Now, Low Dogs could have sorted me out pretty easily, settle my claim, move on. For reasons known only to them, they didn't. They chose the double dare option, engaged high-flying attorneys, and started fighting hard over a few grand. I don't bend over when someone tries to screw me, so all that did was provide further encouragement. I spent several weeks and several $1,000s putting together a detailed dossier on everything that had happened, then sent it to Low Dogs and said, we can do this the easy way, sort this out, or the hard way. I'll provide this to the regulators. They said, you'll never bother, go away. Okay, kids, whatever you think. So off it went to the regulator. I really simplified the story above. It's actually a pretty complex situation, hence the huge work involved in explaining everything to the regulator, which Low Dogs thought I wouldn't trouble myself with. The regulator took a look at my dossier and came down on them hard. On my estimate, Low Dogs spent maybe $100,000 on attorneys and fighting the regulator, only to lose the argument. The regulator forced Morality Ltd. To give the stuff back to Low Dogs, who then had to give it to me and everyone else who'd placed orders but been denied at the original low price. The profit that Morality Ltd. Missed out on was something like $600,000. And as it happened, Morality Ltd. Had contrived the original scheme with Low Dogs, and they were planning to share the profits. Too bad, so sad. Amusing enough, but here's the kicker. It turns out the stock controller at Low Dogs, who was an a-hole to me when I complained that I hadn't received my order, hadn't actually passed everything on to Morality. He'd kept some for himself and sold it for a neat profit of around $20K. When the regulator was investigating what had happened, that fact came out and Low Dogs weren't happy. They were so unhappy, in fact, that the stock controller was promptly sacked from his $200,000 a year job. Unlucky. Deserving of the pro document. Call their bluff, get the attorneys involved, and hit them where it really hurts. Beautiful. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.